I am not saying be this goody-goody. And we have all got to test the limits and have some fun, right? Life would not be fun if we didn't have fun. However, when these actions start having compound consequences, that's when I think it's hard to set a boundaries. When, I'm all for going out and having fun and trying things and, whatever, as long as you're not hurting somebody else. But at some point it gets to the point where we're like, okay, this is having not a great effect on me, my life, my family, my relationship, whatever it is. That's where the boundaries I feel like need to come in, whether it's with ourselves or with somebody else, because they start to have a cumulative effect after a while.
It is so much easier to set the boundary before the train is off the rails.
Right. But we let the train get off the rails a lot.
We do.
Not us, present company excluded.
Yeah, no.
But the other people that are out there.
That's hard. I also feel like, and maybe this, okay, so two things here. Like, one, I feel like women struggle with this a little bit more than men.
Okay.
Two, I am not a mother, but
I've got some kids I can hand over to you if you'd like them.
I got two dogs.
Yeah, kidding. Everybody know Kennedy.
We have to tell ourselves that it's okay to set a boundary. It is okay to put yourself first. It is okay to tell somebody no. Mm-hmm. It's okay to put your armor on and do the thing that you know is best for you, or not to do the thing you know is hurting you.
So why do people not do? I mean, we all know this. So I think in terms of boundaries, we all know what boundaries we need to set. We really do. If we're being honest with ourselves, we kind of know that I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be, in a relationship with it. I had somebody tell me one time, if you've got to keep it a secret, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Ooh.
That can relate to people too. If you have to keep the person a secret, you probably shouldn't be doing them either. So it's one of these things where you've got to look at. So we know that the boundaries need to be set, and we might have set them. I'm again present company excluded.
Yeah.
But if you've said it, but we roll right over them. It's so easy to steamroll, and I don't have the answer. I think that's what's interesting is I think we have. Actually, I do have the answer. The answer is really you have to be crazy honest with yourself.
Yeah. And
you have to have people close enough to you that are going to hold that mirror up to say, Whitney, this is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Maybe it's almost like suffering. Like,
well, that's something about the pleasure pain. I think some people like to suffer.
Yeah. Because think about like being busy, right? How, like, I can't do that because I'm so busy.
Yep.
How did you get so busy?
I think that's it. Well, that's a whole nother tangent. I think that's a BS excuse.
Yeah.
I totally think being too busy is a BS excuse.
Yeah. And whatever, is you feel like crowding up your calendar, you at some point said yes to it.
Everybody makes a choice. Like, here's the thing, like no one's too busy for anything. They aren't priority. So if somebody says, hey, I'm too busy to see you, what they're really saying is you don't matter as much as the other things I've got going on. Yeah. That's really what it means.
Yeah.
And does that suck? Yep. Is that painful to hear? Mm-hmm. But it's the truth.
But
that's boundary. It's a boundary with yourself to realize that if somebody's going to treat you like crap, you're teaching them that.
My mind goes to the Israelites.
Of course.
Okay, ready? I know.
Of course. Why would your mind not go to the Israelites?
Why would it not? This is an old story. Ready? I'm like, because we do this.
I feel like I need to get out my hymnal now.
No, okay.
Yes, please proceed.
So
with
God was like, land of milk and honey, right this way. And they were like, circled in the same spot for 40 years.
Yes. That's it. I've always thought that too, because I'm like, that's a slow learner. That is a very slow learner.
And he had already proved everything. Everything he said came to pass. He told them the way. Right. They knew it all. All they had to do was walk forward.
Yep.
And instead, it was like they had a limp leg and they were just going in circles.
Well, I think it's one of those things where it's the comfort zone thing.
Yeah.
They're like, well, it's fine. It's fine here. And there's a new meme that's been going around. It's a little girl with holding a little teddy bear. Have you seen that one?
No.
And it's Jesus. If we're getting on the Israelites here,
Yes.
so it's a little girl with a teddy bear,
Yep.
and she's holding it. And Jesus is kneeling down, and behind his back, he's got a big old teddy bear. And she says, "But I love it so much, I don't want to let it go." And he says, "But I've got something better." And she's like
Yeah.
grasping on that. So
This
it's
little
like
one.
one of these things. I know it's a cute little meme.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a good meme. But it's one of these things where, I mean, this is boundaries. This is part of it is what we're not going to do. But part of a boundary is saying, I'm not going to continue doing
Yeah.
this same thing that I know is not allowing me to grow, allowing me to move forward. And this could be personally, professionally, financially, because I'm on all three. Personally, it's relationships. Professionally, it's what you're tolerating at work. And financially, the boundaries are really all the bad financial decisions we're making that, we talked about, Matt and I talked about this before, that's allowing us to perpetually end up in debt or not put ourselves in a good financial situation.
Yeah.
So all these things, I think it all relates back. We need to set some boundaries.
Yeah.
So we have Sam Alcohaney joining us, and then we also have Pineapple Staffing, FW Styles, and Smith 547.
All right, Sam McElhaney. How about that? Because Sam McElhaney, this is your fault. We are talking about boundaries here because I hear you and Miss Mendoza had quite the
Personal
combo on
request.
it. So it's it's true, and I'd love you guys' comments. Which one is the hardest? Is it personal? Is it professional? Or is it boundaries with yourself? For me, like I said, it's boundaries with. I think for me, it's myself. Professionally, I'm fine. I mean, I work for myself, so it's kind of, hey, here's what we think. Personally, it's gotten better. I was terrible at setting boundaries with friendships and relationships early on, for sure, terrible. That's gotten better. Maybe it's because I avoid them, but not the boundaries, the relationships.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think that's it. But for me, it's been the hardest to set boundaries with myself. And like I was saying earlier, if you guys are just tuning in, this is kind of we're going to call it loopy day for me because I've been running, like I've got a lot of stuff going on professionally. And honestly, I've got a lot of stuff personally that I won't go into on air, but a lot of stuff going on where my head's just about at the limit. And I think that's why I keep getting migraines. But I was yesterday to the point, as I said earlier, that I literally thought I was going to pass out. And the girls are looking at me like, I don't think you should really be driving. So they're driving me around and doing all kinds. The good thing is they did their chores. I know. I was like, Kennedy, I really need you to do the dishes. Okay, Mom. I'm like, nice. So maybe I'm going to be faking a migraine more often. But it's one of these things where I think it's because I just let myself run too hard for a while. Do you ever do that? Do you just kind of run too hard where you just hit the proverbial wall and your body just is like, yeah, I'm done, tapping out?
Yeah. 100%.
I think my body was tapping out this week.
Yeah. I'm fresh because I listen to podcasts in the morning too. So I was listening to one again, our friend Brendan Smith this morning, and he was quoting Greg Maddux.
Okay.
That said the difference between like a good pitcher and a Hall of Famer is when they get in trouble, the good pitcher will throw harder. The Hall of Famer will actually throw softer.
Oh.